Good morning, everyone. How you doing? Well, let's talk about the Aumud Arbery case. I got quite a few comments on this case. This case was a hybrid of Derek Chauvin and George Floyd and Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman. That'd be the best way for me to describe it, in my own opinion. Should have Aumud Arbery died that day? No, he really shouldn't have. Should have the McKnight family got involved over such petty bullshit? No, they shouldn't. Should the McKnights be looking at a life sentence or a life with parole sentence? No, because this wasn't murder 1, nor was it murder 2. Manslaughter 1 at most. I would even say, no, it's a manslaughter 2. They should have been charged with manslaughter 2, misdemeanor false imprisonment, menacing, and I'm sure you could have tacked on a few other charges there. For the simple fact is, they didn't plan this murder. They called 911 and told them what was going on. So, if they really want to do, they wouldn't have called 911. I'm sorry. So, I'm not buying that. Now, did Aumud Arbery commit any crimes that day? No. The McKnight's claim to fame was he was trespassing on a construction project. Now, Aumud Arbery did have a record. He had a lifelong thing of stupid crimes, not major. But he committed no crime that day. You look at the trespassing laws of Georgia on a construction project. You're only trespassing, one, if the owner tells you to leave and you refuse to do it, which wasn't the case because the owner wasn't there at the time. And there are no trespassing signs all over the place, which clearly there wasn't. They also accused them of stealing. Well, problem is he stole nothing, as the owner verified, and these idiots known as the McKnight family should have known better. I mean, the man went on his way, doing his morning jog, whatever he was doing, towards the McKnight family, and the McKnight family should have realized right away he did not have anything in his hands. He didn't have any stolen tools, stolen lumber, stolen sheetrock. The man didn't even have a box of nails or screws on him. So why the hell would you point your guns at someone and try to make a citizen's arrest? Now listen, as a citizen, yeah, you can make an arrest. Is it worth doing? No, it's not. Okay, and here's a lesson for gun owners. Another good lesson and bad lesson for the mates for gun owners. Just because you have awesome stand your ground laws in your state or your castle doctrine does not apply to a citizen's arrest. Okay? And if you're gonna make a citizen's arrest, do it when you're trying to apprehend an active shooter. Or what happened in Wisconsin, if you manage to get the driver out and hold him down till police get there, do that. Major crimes. But is it worth trying to do a citizen's arrest for trespassing or suspected trespassing or petty theft? No, I'm sorry, you have to be real stupid. Okay, first of all, when police officers make arrests and they're justified, we have this thing. It's called indemnification. The police department looks over what we did, or the law enforcement department looks over what we did, and they say, yep, justified, and the department covers your expenses, or the state or the county. Private citizens, when they're justified in a citizen's arrest, do not have indemnification with the state, the town, the county. So if you do that and things go wrong, you're on your own to pay for it out of your pocket. And even if it goes right, you may be paying out of pocket anyway, depending what your laws are. If he tries to get you in a civil case, or maybe you hurt him while handcuffing him, or there's always something. That's when it comes to something like that, a trespassing or potential petty theft, don't bother. All right, you have phones, use your camera, take video, take pictures, call the police, give them a description, and let it go. All right, the McKnights was stupid for what they did. It made zero sense for trespassing on a construction project. And again, if you accuse him of stealing, he's running towards you and he has nothing on him. What are you doing? Alright, sorry, but the McKnight family was dumb. So in that aspect, I can't feel bad for him at all. I really don't. Alright, it's like the time when we had that stand your ground case in Florida. Remember the old guy who approached the woman about parking in a handicapped spot in front of a gas station, and she gave him lip back, and they got into a shouting match, and he got shoved on the floor, and he killed her boyfriend. Again, another case. Are you really gonna go all the way for a handicapped parking spot? And if you look at that video of the guy in Florida, of the woman in Florida, she was in her car, so technically she was not parked in a handicap zone spot. She was standing, okay? And if the laws in Florida are no different than the laws in New York, handicap spots are only needed if you are 100 feet away, I think, from the doorway. Otherwise, for a place like a gas station, they have them, but it's considered a courtesy. Assuming they have the same laws. Either way, is it worth getting into a shouting or shoving match over a handicapped parking space? No. Is it worth doing a citizen's arrest on trespassing in a construction project when it's not your property and they haven't stolen anything? Absolutely not. Now the other thing was the whole psyop thing, the old photo psyop thing we saw with this case. You know, they tried to portray Aumud Arbery like they did Trayvon Martin. You know, pictures of him smiling, dressed nicely, looking good. All right, and we all know Trayvon Martin had a troubled childhood, and Aumud Arbery had a criminal past. The McKnights were portrayed as, you know, these disgruntled white people, and listen, being what they did, I'm sure they were. They probably figured out they were dumb for what they did. But regardless, the media was doing a psyop job like they did with the Trayvon Martin case, and it was like, these guys don't have a chance. And they really didn't anyway if there wasn't a psyop involved. Now, like I said, there's no way the McKnights should be doing life without parole or life with parole for this crime. This was manslaughter too, I think, in my honest opinion, with false imprisonment and in menacing. Maybe manslaughter 1, maybe. But they should be doing maybe 15 to 20 years alone just for the manslaughter, and a few more years for menacing and false imprisonment, and boom, there you have it. Again, Al Sharpton was down there, so that alone makes this case terrible to begin with. Whenever he shows up, things are just not good. So, that's my Aumud Arbery case. Aumud Arbery, despite his past, did nothing wrong that day. He really didn't. And there's no way he should have been dead. And you know what? And if he didn't have such a bad past and had a clean past, he might have been able to have a firearm and shoot back at these people who were trying to falsely arrest him and did false imprisonment and then pointed guns at him. He would have been justified under stand your ground laws in Georgia. But unfortunately, this is a sad thing all around. It's not good for Arbery. It's not good for the McKnights. And it should be another wake-up call to gun owners. If you're going to do what the McKnights did, make sure it's a major crime. Even then, if you can call the police and just give a description, that's all you should be doing. Even if you have self-defense insurance, is it worth going through all that crap? And I'm sorry, I even tell my fellow off-duty officers, no. And if you are going to do something like that, make sure you have your cell phone on, or your body camera on, or camera glasses. Because, listen, do we need video evidence to convict someone of a crime or make an arrest? No. But because it's become such a standard now, people expect it. You know, it's kind of like the girl in Florida there. who got away pretty much murdering her child. I'm trying to remember. Anyway, because there was no DNA evidence in the case, she got away scot-free despite the fact all other evidence was on her. Now, do you need DNA evidence to convict someone? No, because we did it long before DNA evidence came along. But because it's become such a standard now, it's like, oh, it's all DNA, you know, so she's got to be let go. There you go. And the same in this case, you know, you need to have, what would the Kyle Rittenhouse case been like without all that video? I think Kyle Rittenhouse would have been behind bars right now. And I'm telling you, for your off-duty officers out there, if you're going to make an off-duty arrest, make sure you have your own body camera, make sure you're wearing camera glasses or something, because video and microphone evidence is now as big as DNA evidence, and people just expect you to have it, and people can no longer realize that you don't need this type of stuff to convict someone or find them not guilty. So it's because we live in such a surveillance society. Again, do not get involved. This is why we have police departments. Now listen, we have the right to bear arms, but I'm telling you right now, unless you're defending yourself from grave danger or someone you know is in grave danger, because like I said, not all things appear to be as they be when things happen. So be careful. Make a 911 call, get pictures, get a description, get video, give it to the police. Police officers do not protect you. I will say it again. Police officers do not protect you. How they keep the community safe is to arrest and apprehend and prevent a case for the district attorney. That's how they do it. You're in charge of your own security, but you're also in charge of knowing your laws of self-defense, citizen's arrest, and what you can and cannot do. So gun owners, between the case in Florida, Casey Anthony, that's the woman I was thinking about. Casey Anthony was a woman who got away with killing her child because there was no DNA evidence, even though all circumstances and all the evidence pointed towards her. Casey Anthony, there you go. But again, know what you can do, know what you can't do. And even if you can do it, you have to ask yourself, is it a smart thing to do? Because unless, I'm telling you right now, I'm telling people all the time, unless it's you're in danger, you yourself or someone next to you, a third person who you know is in danger, or an active shooter, or someone going around stabbing people randomly, don't get involved. Don't get involved. As we're finding out, we have a lot of corrupt judges and district attorneys and lawyers in the private sector all around the country. So be careful. Remember, being right is not a bulletproof vest. And with the media being the way they are, they cannot be trusted. Anyway, you all have a good day. We're only a few days away from Thanksgiving. God bless you all. We'll talk to you later.